Hey guys, welcome back to PristineZReads. Back today with the review of The Fire, the Revelation, and the Fall by Jenny L. Coate. So this is the sixth book in the Epic Order of the Seven series. And yeah, so that's basically my introduction, but really quick, watch till the end of this video for a special announcement. And yeah, okay, let's get rolling. First up is the summary. So, The Fire, the Revelation, and the Fall it's kind of like a retelling again. It covers the events from the end of Acts all the way till like the fall of Jerusalem. And yeah, so basically this is like biblical fiction. You don't know what that is, go look it up. It's based on like the Bible, so biblical fiction. I'm just thinking the summary that I had prepared, it sounds like a movie plot, so let's scrap that because I don't want to make this sound like a movie plot. So yeah, let's go with it. So the animals, the Epic Order of the Seven, they are well, actually Liz, Max, and Nigel are with Paul, the Apostle Paul, and right now they're like, and yeah, Paul's traveling to all these Gentile cities. He's spreading the gospel, preaching the good news. Wherever he goes, he's met with different receptions. You know, some people are like open to him, other people are like, nope, we don't want anything to do with you, they like kick him out. But yeah, he's like working miracles from place to place. But all roads lead to Rome, and this book is no exception. So eventually, Paul gets in enough trouble that he needs to make an appeal to Caesar. And for that, he has to go to Rome, where Caesar is. The catch: this Caesar that he's appealing to happens to be none other than Nero. And anybody who knows their history or is worth their salt in history class knows that Nero is, you should know who Nero is. He's like a madman, basically, and he's the one whose Paul's life rests in, basically. Well, technically not true, because God is watching over Paul, but Nero has the ability to judge the outcome. Anyways, so with Nero judging Paul's case, what will the outcome be? I mean, like, this is like pretty unpredictable, guys. Nero is like, alright, so you don't know who Nero is? Let me tell you some stuff he has done. So some historians think that he was the one who set fire to Rome, you know, that huge fire that like devastated all of Rome. Some people also think, well, actually, he was also like brutally persecuting Christians after the fire happened. Whoop, save that for the spoiler section. Me have a big fat mouth. Okay. Basically, he did some really terrible stuff. Yeah, so who knows what the outcome of this trial will be. It could go really well. Nero could be amused by Paul's tale, as Nero is also this like split ego person. He might decide he enjoys Paul's case, or he could be really mad at Paul, and Paul could become some lion munchies. Yeah, so you'll have to find out what happens to him there. Also, yeah, anyways, no like super huge cliffhanger question, because I couldn't like think of a super good one. Anyways, moving on to the spoiler section. Non-spoiler people, you know what to do by now, I think. Go click on the timestamp in the description and it'll take you straight to where the non-spoilers are now. Okay, moving on, spoiler people. Paul is safe, do not worry. Well, actually, I should rephrase that. His case with Nero went well. He survived for the time being, but then later he got put in the Mamertine prison with Peter. And like, nobody knows this for sure. I think this is just Coates' artistic license, but in the story Paul got beheaded, and also Peter was crucified upside down. How the story goes, because he didn't want to be crucified like Jesus, but he was crucified upside down. And I gotta say, like, that moment between Al and Peter at the end, that was like so sad. It made me cry, guys. I'm not ashamed to say that. Anyways, sad disciple dying moments aside, let's move on to another aspect of the book. So, do you remember last time in The Wind, the Road, and the Way? If you have watched that, if you haven't, please go watch it. Selfless. I am unashamedly promoting myself there. Anyways, yeah, so in the last video I talked about the Animal Olympics, and yeah, they happened in this book, and they're pretty funny to read about, actually. So yeah, funny. They happened, but didn't really end that well, though. In this case, Nero didn't actually set the fire. So do you remember Noah and Nate, the capuchin monkey and the basilisk lizard? You can like see them here. That's Nate and that's Noah. Ignore him. That's Bang. Somebody else. Anyways, so yeah, they were basically like in the Circus Maximus. They were having their games, but this Bang guy, he's a civet, and he happened to bring some fireworks. Noah accidentally set some fireworks off, but he did not actually set the fire. So Lucifer, in his lion form, came, tipped over an oil lantern, set the Circus Maximus on fire, and it kind of like spread from there. That's the way it happened in this book, anyways. So yeah, so the games kind of ended in disaster, but at least Epic Order of the Seven got to save the animals that would have otherwise been used in the gladiatorial games the next day. So there's a bonus, all the animals got to escape there. Yay! Another thing that I can spoil. Do you remember the Antonius family? I told you all about them back in the Prophet, the Shepherd of the Star video. So the dad, Marcus, he was the centurion who was tasked with carrying out the slaughter of the innocents, or the killing of all male babies 2 years and younger, when Herod was like delusional and he ordered them to be killed so he could supposedly kill Jesus. Anyways, yeah, so he was a centurion who was supposed to do that. So anyways, he was a centurion who was supposed to do that, but he recognized St. Joseph's house and he didn't kill Jesus. Happy ending. But Lucifer was like, the sword of Antonius shall find the Messiah yet, or something like that. And Marcus's son, Armandus, was a centurion carrying out Jesus's crucifixion. I mean, like, wow! Okay. Anyways, so he was also the centurion that said, truly this is the Son of God. If you, like, read the gospel, the same Jesus' crucifixion, some gospels have the centurion said, truly this was the Son of God. Yes, so anyways, Armandus was the centurion that said that. But Armandus had two sons. Their names were Julius and Theophilus. Julius, not Julius Caesar, just Julius. Julius grew up to become a centurion. Predictable. And he was a centurion who was with Paul on that crazy shipwreck Malta. Remember that if you read it in Acts. And exactly, so he was a centurion that was supposedly on the boat. And through that, he got saved. Like, Paul helped him understand his faith, because, okay, settle in, guys. Long story, gotta give you the backstory. So, while Armandus was, no, this is Armandus, Julius's dad, while Armandus was on, like, this ship thing, his ship crashed, but Armandus gave his life for this slave and helped this slave escape. And Julius was upset by that tragedy because he didn't understand why his dad would give himself up for this slave. And remember the slave, his name was Eligius. We're going to come back to that later. So, Eligius aside, Armandus saved Eligius. And Julius was mad, and therefore he did not become a Christian like the rest of his family before him, but instead rejected his faith. But when he met Paul, and they got shipwrecked on Malta, Paul then helped Julius to be able to come to his faith. And yeah, so now Julius knows that Paul needed a lawyer for his trial with Caesar, and his brother Theophilus happened to be a lawyer. Wow. So Julius helped Theophilus, kind of like made Theophilus help Paul, and through that, Paul helped Theophilus become a Christian. Go figure. Anyways, yeah, so pretty cool. And then, I'm not done yet, Theophilus had a son. His name was Leonatus. Yes, a lot of S's there, excuse me. So do you remember the fire I told you about that happened at Circus Maximus, spread to all of Rome, destroyed? The fire also happened to kill Leonatus' parents, Theophilus and his wife. Leonatus saw Lucifer intentionally trap Theophilus and his mom inside this, and so therefore Leonatus like hates lions. He despises them with all his heart. That's also important. Remember that. So, anyways, Leonatus grows up. He has this like fascination with gladiators, especially the Bestiarius. Not sure to pronounce that right. Bestiarius. I'll just call it the Bestiarius for now. That type of gladiator that specializes in fighting animals, mostly lions. So guess what? Leonatus wants to become one of those. But a gladiator is not like the most desired profession you have. It's kind of like slavery as well. There's really some interesting history in here, guys. Learned a lot about Rome and gladiators, so another reason to read this. Anyways, so one day Leonatus runs away, and he has been living with his grandmother, Bella, or Armandus's wife. And so he has been living with her, but one day he sneaks away, and Leonatus has never become a Christian, by the way. That's also important. He's never become a Christian. So Leonatus sneaks away. He wants to be a gladiator. So he joins the gladiator school, and we catch up with him down the road. So the animals manage to get Julius a little invitation to this pre-gladiatorial game party that the Emperor that the Emperor Titus is holding. And Leonatus is there as a gladiator, for he'll be fighting in the games the next day. And Julius sees Leonatus. Now, nobody has seen hide or hair of Leonatus these like entire years while he's been in gladiator school. So obviously Julius is really shocked to to see this. And Bella had died of a broken heart after Leonatus ran away. Julius meets with Leonatus. They kind of have like a forced reunion. Julius is obviously really mad at Leonatus. After a while, Leonatus is just like, you know what? I have chosen this path. I am being this gladiator. Goodbye, uncle. But one of Leonatus' fellow gladiators, Eligius the Younger, I already recognized that name. You should have been paying attention. He's also Leonatus' fellow gladiator. And he is a Christian. And he's a Christian because his dad, Eligius, was saved by Armandus. Eligius knew of Armandus' faith, and when Armandus sacrificed himself for Eligius, then Eligius got saved and passed on his faith to his son, Eligius the Younger. Wow! The story has come full circle. Amazing! Okay. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Julius and Eligius talk, they connect all the dots. And yeah, so next day in the games, Leonatus and Eligius fight. Now, Eligius, sorry guys, his name is not Eligius. I don't think it's Eligius. Sorry. So the slave Armandus rescued was Eligius. His son is Eligius the Younger. And then Eligius the Younger's son was Domitius. Yes, his name was Domitius, sorry. His name is not Eligius. Scratch that. That is, just pretend I didn't say that. Anyway, so Julius and Domitius connect. The next day, Leonatus and Domitius fight at the games. Now, Domitius knows that Leonatus is not a Christian. He has tried many times before to get Leonatus to see the light. Leonatus has not, unfortunately. So, Domitius knows that if he kills Leonatus in the game, Leonatus will not go to heaven. The Emperor has declared the match sine mission, which means that they're not allowed to leave the ring unless one of them dies. Who is it? Place your bets. Just kidding. and Domitius lets Leonatus kill him because he knows that he's going to go to heaven because he's a Christian. Leonatus will not, and Domitius wants to give him a second chance. So that was sad, but it was touching because, yeah. Anyways. So, Leonatus wins, but at that cost. Fast forward a few years, skipping over unnecessary events that don't really have anything to spoil. John, the son of Thunder, Jesus' disciple, he is arrested for not lighting the incense to Emperor Domitian, and he's sent to Patmos, exile, with his friend, I forgot what his friend's name is, hang on a second. Oh yes, Prochorus. John's friend's name is Prochorus. So, John and Prochorus both go to Patmos. And they are not, like, sentenced to, just, like, stay in prison the entire time. They're supposed to be just turned loose, left to fend for themselves, or probably die. Because there's not that much food and water on the island, like, available. But, Kate, little Kate, y'all love Kate, she helps Prochorus meet this fisherman who, knows how to catch fish, and has also been exiled a while ago. Anyways, guess who this fisherman is, guys? Leonatus. I did not see that one coming. Anyways, so, Leonatus. He's the fisherman, and he was exiled because he didn't, forget he was exiled for, stand by. Oh yes, so Leonatus refused to help Emperor Domitian create new ways for people to die in the gladiatorial games. So Emperor Domitian was like, oh, how dare you! So he exiled Leonatus. And yeah, so they met. No chance meeting, guys. I mean, like, Kate helped them meet. So, guess what? Leonatus becomes a Christian, but you didn't see that one coming. So yeah, he becomes a Christian. Yeah, cool story. John writes the book of Revelation. We get to be present to see his vision, or at least some of it. And yeah, that's pretty much where the book ends. Actually, I have kind of like a cool prologue and epilogue covering the monk Telemachus. Don't know if you guys know who that is. He was a monk who basically helped stop the gladiatorial games in Rome. Yeah, so I have kind of this cool prologue and epilogue of him. And yeah, that's basically where it ends. The end, guys! Okay, that was a long spoiler summary. There's a lot to spoil here. Okay, moving on to the morals. Hello, non-spoiler people. Welcome back. I apologize. That was a long time. There's a lot of stuff to spoil, but you don't need to know about that. So, moving on to the worldviews. Jenny Elcoat is a Christian author for the 6th time now. High moral standards. There's like nothing appropriate here. Yeah, I didn't find anything like theologically wrong or chronologically incorrect. Of course, she had used her artistic license in a lot of places to fill in gaps on like what might have happened. But yeah, this was a really cool read. This is like my second favorite in the series, I think. Anyways, so of course there was the Roman worldview. This is the other prominent worldview. It's like Roman paganism versus Christianity. So I did learn a lot about like Roman mythology and like also like Greek mythology as well. But it was all presented in like it's like presented from the Christian worldview. So like talking about it, like how the humans have made these idols as a replacement for the one true God. So it's all presented in a very Christianic, that's even a word, Christianic light. Okay, moving on to violence. So, there was quite a bit of the gladiatorial games in here. Not super much detail. There was like, I read vividly a sentence that said, the sand of the arena was like drenched in blood or something. That's a pretty disturbing mental image. I mean, if you have a vivid imagination, Anyways, yeah, and then there was also Paul's beheading. There wasn't too much like detail into that. I remember the sentence was like, when he died, it was like, and suddenly there was a flash of light and Paul was in heaven. It was kind of like that. There wasn't any like, the executioner swung his sword and it cut through the, no. Okay. Yeah. So, there's that. There's also Peter being crucified, upside down, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, hey guys, that's not really a spoiler because, you know, they all die eventually. I'm just telling you how they die. And even then, that's artistic license. We don't know for sure if they died that way. But yeah. Okay, that's it for violence. Moving on to foul language, and there's basically none here. Yeah. Okay. Romance. There's basically next to zero. I mean, there's one scene at the pre-gladiatorial game party where this gladiator was flirting with these ladies. They were flirting with him, but like nothing inappropriate, which is kind of like to show the worldly lifestyle that gladiator had chosen. People who watch the spoiler section, you know who I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, okay. That's it for romance. Moving on to alcohol. There are like some mentions of drinking here. Nero passed out one time because he drank too much. Yeah. As for drugs, this is like a minor mention, but I should mention that there's this lady, I will not tell her name for the sake of spoilers. She just poisoned her husband by putting some poison in mushrooms, and her husband ate the mushrooms and died. Yeah. But I mean, like, I just put poison under drugs because I don't know where else to put it. Anyways, yeah. So that should be it for the morals, guys. Yeah, now moving on to my personal rating, recommended age level. So I'm going to put this one at 4.5 stars. The only reason I'm not putting it at a 5 is because The Rome, the 12 and the King was my favorite. And unfortunately this one was just not like, quite the same as The Rome, the 12 and the King. So I'll have to give it to that and keep this one at 4.5. But like, seriously guys, this one is still amazing. There's like a really complicated storyline, but that just like all connected really nicely at the end. It all resolved. Yeah, this was like, the storyline, like the actual plot was kind of mind-blowing actually. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna put the recommended age level at a tentative 10 to 11 plus. Leaning more towards 11 side because there's definitely some more violence in here than like some of the other books. Not saying this is like super bloody and gory and stuff, but I would probably, yeah, advise some more caution on the violence side. That's why I'm leaning towards more of the 11. But yeah, anyways, so love this a lot, and yeah, highly recommend it. The end. So now for my announcement that you guys have been oh so patiently waiting to hear. So, I'm currently in the process of renovating my channel. So if you haven't noticed, I've been making like new thumbnails recently. They've had a different theme. They have like this pale pink aesthetic that's kind of like the color theme of my new channel branding. I'm going to be making a logo, new channel cover, new intro, new outro, so it's gonna be great. That'll be releasing after I finish this Epic Order of the 7 series reviews. Right now I currently have 2 more to go. Technically there are more books in this series, but they're still coming out, so I won't be reviewing those till later. Anyways, yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Yeah, bye!